watertight door. The Queen Mary, she was outfitted with 38 of these watertight doors of hydraulic pressure. They take 36 seconds to close and they do not have any sensors on them. They are used as a safety precaution in case we were to strike something like an iceberg. We would shut these watertight doors and water would be prevented from coming up to the upper deckings. We could stay afloat a little bit longer to try to get some help. In 1966, it was a foggy night on the Atlantic Ocean. The captain could not see out in front of him, so he made an order. Just to be safe, he ordered all 38 of these watertight doors to be shut. Up on the bridge, there is a lighting system. Each time one of these watertight doors does close, a green light clicks on. That lets the captain know that door has now been shut the proper way. When he made this order, he noticed 37 of the 38 lights turned green. Every light turned green but one. Light number 13 did not turn green. This means watertight door 13 did not close the proper way. Give that a quick second. So the door did not close the proper way, so our captain would send 2 crew members down to our engine room to go investigate as to why watertight door 13 did not close properly. And when they got down there, to their shock, what they discovered, they found our youngest 18-year-old crew member caught in between watertight door number 13. He was crushed to death. This is a documented death that happened here aboard the Queen Mary. We know this happened for a fact. As to how or why, we're a little bit unsure. We got 3 theories. Our first theory, a very common game they played down in the engine room, was a game called Chicken. This is a game where the young crew members would bounce back and forth between these watertight doors, eventually until one of them got caught by the door. Our second theory, when they found him stuck in the door, there was a box of wrenches tipped over on the other side. Some say the crew member went through the door, he dropped his wrench, he figured he had enough time to get back through that door to pick up the wrench, mistimed it and was unfortunately caught by the door. Then our last theory would be the theory of murder. At the time, our engineers and our firefighters, they went on a strike, so they replaced them with these young 18-year-olds. Some say a lot of jealousy and arguments were breaking out in the engine room between the older and the younger crew members. A fight broke out, and this young man was accidentally pushed in between door number 13. Well, at least we hope it was an accident. Down in our engine room, we do get a lot of paranormal activity. Guests will commonly report hearing footsteps walk behind them. They'll turn around and nobody will be there at all. A lot of strange voices can be heard coming from door number 13. When we do our weekly investigations on our EVP recording sessions, we'll catch a voice that will often ask, "Have you seen my wrench?" Shadow figures can be seen climbing along the catwalks by door number 13. Now, as a tour guide here, one of the most common questions I get myself is, do I believe that the ship is haunted? I'll answer the question right now. Yes, I do. I've had many personal experiences here to convince me that she is haunted. One of my favorites does come from door number 13. It was only my 3rd day working here. I did tell you, he was the youngest crew member on the ship. He was only 18 years old. Me personally, I am also the youngest crew member aboard the Queen Mary. I am 19 years old. A year ago, I was 18 years old as well. We were the same age, so you can see how we had that connection there. My job that day was to head down to the engine room and shut the lights off and lock the doors. Sounds like my supervisor might have set me up there a bit, I don't know. As I'm walking down the escalator, I realized my heart started to pump really hard and really heavy. Cannot tell you why, but it just was. When I got to the bottom, I looked up and I saw door number 13. Instantly, I got that feeling that I was not alone in the engine room. It felt like somebody was watching me. As I passed through the door, I got a really cold and icy chill down my spine. At this point, I knew something was wrong. I began to panic. I was on the other side of the door, panicking for about 3 seconds, when I heard a whisper in my ear. It was a very clear whisper. It said, "I'm so lonely." Instantly, when I heard that whisper, I snapped back into my reflexes and I sprinted all the way up to the upper deckings to tell my coworkers what I just witnessed. Watertight door 13, it is available for you guys to see today. After the tour, come and see me. I'll give you some directions on how to get there. Maybe you can do some investigating of your own. Later on today, you'll let me know what you think happened to that crew member that night aboard the Queen Mary. Right this way, please.
ಇದನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ರೆಕಾರ್ಡ್ ಆಗ್ತಲ್ಲ
அப்படியா ஓகே
Volunteer. Do we have any brave volunteers today? Who's feeling brave? Right this way, sir.
Don't
What's up?
So what is your name?
Ender.
What was that?
Ender.
Hendon, nice to meet you. And where's hometown? Where are you from?
Phoenix.
Phoenix, Arizona. That's a little bit of a drive from here. So on the other side of this door here, there is a long and dark, spooky hallway. Your job today, you will guide our group down this long and dark, spooky hallway. Head all the way down the hall until you see a mirror. Once you see that mirror, I want you to make a left into a room full of demonic artifacts and some creepy dolls. Stop right there. Don't go any further than that. I will guide you all the way down and make a left.
You got it.
Right this way, please. Right this way. So just. Oh, it says stop. Here.
Making noises and everything. I like it. Are you supposed to go in there?
I thought we were just supposed to.
So we're supposed to stop at that mirror, right? Yeah. With the Queen Mary. She is a little girl we call a Jackie. Jackie's believed to be about 6 or 7 years of age. She is spotted in an all-blue sundress with curly brown hair. Some guest reports seeing this little girl to have a teddy bear in her hand. A very friendly and playful little spirit. She loves to play games. She's known to go up to children closer to her age and ask them if they would like to play a game with her. Before they can respond, she'll disappear right in front of their eyes. Adults report walking throughout the ship. They'll feel a little hand grab their hand. They'll look down and nobody will be there at all. At least once a week at 2:30, 3 in the morning, we'll get complaints from our hotel guests of a little girl singing in the hallways. Some of the songs she likes to sing is Ring Around the Rosie, Mary Had a Little Lamb. Each time we'll send security up there to go investigate, and every week we never find any little girl singing in any of our hallways. We do know her name is Jackie because we have paranormal investigations. They'll ask the most common question, what is your name? And the most common response we get is a little girl voice saying, my name is Jackie. But on that long wall of death records you saw there, you did not see any little girl named Jackie that died here on the ship. Nobody named Jackie died here at all. This means we don't know who Jackie is or what Jackie really could be. However, she is said to be the most friendliest spirit we have here on the ship. She's never harmed anybody before. She just seems like a lonely little girl looking for a new friend to play a game with. In this room here, we do have haunted artifacts that come from different haunted locations from around the world. Each one does have its own personal haunted history behind it. The top shelf here, you'll see some dolls are from the Hartford Circus Fire. That was a circus fire in Connecticut that burnt down in the late 1800s. Nearly everybody died. These dolls are the only remaining pieces from that fire. Beneath them, there's another doll. She is in a cage. Her name is Talking Tina. That's a very famous doll, very similar to Annabelle. She has a Twilight Zone episode based off of her called Talking Tina. That's the doll they used in the film as well. In the corner here, there are some pieces that were aboard the RMS Titanic the night that ship sank. Each case does have a card above it that'll tell you some information about the piece, what it is and where it came from. I want to allow you guys some time to explore and take some photos. If you have questions, come and ask.
Are you overwhelmed? Oh, I'm sorry.
Excuse me. I saw you going this way.
So take a look down there. That will lead you down to the very bottom of the ship. And if you look up top, you can see the top of the bow of the ship. It'll give you a better understanding as to how deep into the ship we currently are. Here we are standing is a forward rope locker storage area. They would store rope and mail in this area. The room we walked through a moment ago, that was formerly our crew member quarters. Staff and crew would stay in that room there. Down at the bottom there, that was our forward cargo hold. They kept all of our cargo in there. Things like the Dukies and Duchess of Winster, whenever they sailed with us, their 4 Rolls Royces were kept in that area there. On another occasion, we did transport a circus. We had lions, tigers, and elephants down there as well. Oh my. During the Second World War, that area had a much darker purpose. What they kept down there were all of the prisoners of war. First thing to point out, there's not a lot of space for these prisoners. They were cramped down there. Second, they were not fed. They had nowhere to use the restroom and they got very seasick. Third, the forward cargo hold is right next to our boiler rooms. Down there on average, you got 105 to 115 degrees Fahrenheit. Very hot. A lot of them had heat strokes as well. The majority of them did pass away. We just don't know how many because those records were not released to us from the British government. Further than that, during the Second World War, she would use escort cruises, which are much smaller ships that would guide her out of the harbor until she got to 10 miles up to full speed. 8 miles off the coast of Ireland, a much smaller ship known as the HMS Carousel was guiding the Queen Mary. When the Carousel got her coordinates mixed up, the small ship found herself zigzagging in front of the Queen Mary, just like that. The Queen Mary struck the Carousel. She split the smaller ship right in half. The Carousel would sink in just under 15 minutes. This would send 338 British sailors to their watery graves. And a lot of those men were also caught in our ship's propellers. Did we stop to save those men? No, we did not. We floated on forward and we left them stranded out on the ocean. The reason why we left them stranded is because Adolf Hitler had a $250,000 bounty out to any submarine captain that could sink the Queen Mary. Today, that is an estimated $6.8 million. So we could not stop to save those men. We had to keep floating on forward. I will give you guys some time to explore these areas of the ship. If you choose to go to the bow, we just ask you be very careful up there. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, if you guys are ready, can you go Come on. You will ask us, where did everybody die at? Where are all the ghosts at? And where are all the deaths at? Seems like everybody does come to the Queen Mary and they are all in search of one thing. They come here looking for death. But not enough people come to the ship looking for life. Take a look at the ship in 1936. You would see children playing up and down this staircase here. Upstairs on the promenade deck, you would see couples holding hands all throughout the evening. In our ballrooms, we hosted parties all the way until 7 in the morning. Fast forward until 2019, you will still see children playing up and down this staircase here today. Tonight, we'll still have couples up on the promenade deck holding hands. On average, we will host 300 weddings a year here aboard the Queen Mary. People still fall in love on this ship. From 1936 all the way until 2019, she still does serve the same purpose, and that is bringing life to those of you that board her. On behalf of my staff here aboard the Queen Mary, we would just like to say thank you for taking today's Haunted Encounters tour. If you enjoyed the tour, once again, my name was Dylan. If you do not like the tour, tell them my name was Tiffany. I'll give you guys some general directions here. You can take the staircase here all the way up to the top. That'll bring you back up the promenade deck. Or you can take the gold elevators up to level B. If you have any more questions and want to stick around and chat for a bit, feel free to do so. I hope you all have a beautiful day here aboard the RMS Queen Mary.
Thank you, John.